Commissioner Johnson, who looks to be present online. Yeah.
Hi, I am, yes, online from Lansing, Michigan.
Getting it done.
Whitebird will be here shortly. Markham.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Rahman.
Present.
Long is absent with notice. Spiz.
Here.
Smith Charles.
Present.
You have a quorum.
Wonderful. Let us stand for the pledge. Mr. Spiz, would you lead us, please?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. That takes us to item 4, which is approval of the minutes. We have 2 sets of minutes. We can take them together or separate.
Take them together.
We can take them together. Markham moves.
I'll support.
Commissioner Spiz supports. Thoughts, comments, questions? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and prompt.
Let's try it.
Did it get mine? It's on yes, but it's
I
not.
was gonna say, I got
It's floating.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people clicking on it and none of it coming into the meeting.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll just do voice vote here. Oh, Miller's came in.
All right.
Smith Charles,
Yes.
Rahman,
Yes.
Spiz,
Yes.
and Mark.
Yes.
5 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion carries.
You can all learn from me on that one.
I hit yes.
Next item is approval of the agenda. As you can see, we have A through H under communications, a couple under consent, and a handful under regular. Any changes or anything? Otherwise, I'll take an approval.
So moved.
Mr. Spiz, Ms. Markham. And with that, let's go ahead and prompt the vote. Attempt.
It worked great
And CZC.
all through the last meeting.
Like fast. I think it wore itself out.
Yeah, it's being fussy. Now I can see it's not popping up.
Okay, we'll do a voice vote.
Yeah, just say all.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed, same sign? That motion carries, thank you. So the agenda has been approved. Next is our public comment, item 6 on the agenda. Is there anyone from the public who'd like to address this committee on things on our agenda? And if so, please make your way to the front of the room. Seeing no one making their way to the front of the room, I will go ahead and close our first public comment. Takes us to item 7, which is communications. We have item A, materials management planning letter for Washtenaw County. I could have asked ahead of time, but is there a reason to take each separately for the planning responses? No. Separate, together? Oh, I mean, yeah, it's because it's communications, very good. I haven't had coffee. With that, any thoughts, considerations?
I just have a request for item G. I know they gave us a quarterly report, but I'd like to see an overall timeline put in there of what the strategy is. I think they're through the first year, but what's the plan for the next couple of years? And it might still be dynamic to a point, but I think they could still put some level of a timeline in there.
Ready. Who's our, I guess staff will know who our point person is on that.
Walt over there.
Sean Carlson.
Everybody pick a
I know
name.
the answer, I'm not the point
I think
person.
it's possibly Dom. Good morning, Dom.
There you go,
Welcome.
Dom.
Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. I am here today and I'm joined by Stephanie Wright and Sheree Parrick from the U.S. Center for Advanced Manufacturing, and we're here to answer any questions you may have about the report that was provided for the U.S. Center.
Thank you. Were you able to hear Commissioner Spiz? I'm going to have him just repeat it for good order, what you mentioned.
Yep, I did look at the report, so thank you. My only question or request is, can we get an overall timeline included in every report going forward? I know it's been about a year, or just over a year, and the report was for the last quarter, but I'd like to see what is the overall strategy or focus for the next 2 years also. And it might be dynamic, you might not be solidified yet, but you should have a rough idea over the next couple of years where you plan to be.
Okay, so you're
membership and all those other things that I know that the center is working on getting so that you can be sustainable into the future.
Okay, so just to make sure I understand you, we're looking for major milestones between now and essentially the next 2 years.
That's correct, that's correct.
Okay, all right. I can work with the center team on integrating those into the reports.
Thank you, and if you have questions, you can call me anytime, Don.
Will do. Thank you, sir.
Anything further, Mr.?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Commissioner Rao.
Commissioner Robin, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a quick clarification question. I know for communications, it's A through F with materials management planning. In one of our last meetings, I know there was some thought that Oakland County wanted to go alone rather than in partnership with some of the adjacent counties. And I didn't know if that was applicable in this sense as well, or if that was a different conversation altogether from what we're looking at here.
Whitney.
Yeah.
Whitney can answer that.
I see you're unmuting now.
We're coming. We're coming.
Thank you. If you wouldn't mind, when you get settled there,
There we go.
morning again.
Yes, good morning, commissioners. So yes, this is the same process that we had already decided that we would submit a single county plan. It's written into the new law that we'll have these communications with the adjacent counties. So Oakland County sent our letters to the adjacent counties and the adjacent counties are sending their letters to us. So it's really just meeting that administrative detail that's written into the law. That's what these letters are for.
And have we communicated the same to those adjacent counties? I don't know what response is required or what we've done to this point.
We've been working with Board of Commissioners staff, so we do have a standard letter that's going out responding to the letters that we receive.
And have we received feedback to those responses? I don't know, usually if someone says, hey, I wanna work with you, and you say, no thanks, I don't wanna work with you, I just don't know how that's typically received or, what feedback happens after that.
Yeah, so it was kind of a tricky thing because we all of the counties knew, or at least in our general discussions, that we wanted to work together but submit our own plans. So while we still are working and discussing things, we're just each submitting our own individual plan. So everybody's pretty much using the same letter that we're responding to the letters as well as the initial letters. So we are responding though, and then they're responding back, and we're just keeping track of all of those because we will need to submit those as part of the plan when it's completed.
Okay. And do you know if those adjacent counties are also submitting their own individual plans, or is there any teaming up happening with all the neighbors?
Not within our with these specific counties, no. With our adjacent counties, everyone is planning to submit their own plan.
Thank you for clarifying, I appreciate it.
Sure. You're welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner. Seeing no other hands, I'll go ahead and have us prompt the vote and acknowledge
We need the motion in second
for
for the communications,
I
you know.
think, didn't you make the motion to?
No, I just asked a question, so I'll make the motion though. to
Okay.
Receive and file.
Does anyone want to support that?
Sure.
Commissioner Rahman, and acknowledging.
You can do the unanimous voice.
Okay, we're gonna use our voice vote for all in favor by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed by the same? Hearing none, that motion carries. Thank you. Takes us to item 8, which is our consent agenda. I'll take a motion to approve our consent agenda, which it has 2 items in it, A and B. Moved by
I'll make
Whiteberg,
the motion.
supported by Rahman. It's the fiscal year 2024 appropriation with the City of South Lyon for Tri-Party Road Improvement Program, project number 56331. And B is fiscal year 2024 appropriation with the City of Walled Lake for Tri-Party Road Improvement Program project number 57831. Yes, sir?
Just so on the world knows, that South Lyon one is a big deal. It's Pontiac Trail from Yerkes String to the railroad tracks in town. It's the main thoroughfare of town. It's about a multi-million-dollar project that hopefully it's been coming a long time. Hopefully it's gonna be starting in 25, 26. So they're doing all the engineering, surveying now, and it's It's a big deal.
All right, you ready for the,
They're digging down and starting over, which towns have to do every 50, 60, 70 years. There's 18-inch drains where the water, where it should be 24, 36. So the only way to fix it is to go all the way down.
well, I'm sure we'll see those emails coming across about closures and unhappy people.
Well, that's
Yeah.
that is the, hopefully the word gets out, people
Yeah.
cooperate.
I'll sit there, Commissioner Wiper?
Yes.
Looks like Commissioner Rahman.
Thank you. So the Wall Lake project is much, much smaller. I think it's to the tune of $8,300, what we're looking at. The one thing I just wanted to note, and I do appreciate that there's now a project description included in the introduction and background, which I haven't seen before. I know I've asked that question previously, like, we're approving all this money, what are we doing with it? Just to have some context here is super helpful. So thank you to, whether it's our team or their team, whoever put that together, just an acknowledgement to whoever's responsible for doing that. I certainly appreciate it.
Awesome. Duly noted. With that, unless there's anything further, we can go ahead and prompt the vote. Give it a try.
Miller,
Yes.
you have 6 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. That motion carries. Takes us to item 9, which is our regular agenda. We have item A, which I'll take a motion for for Oakland County International Airport, OCIA, airport land lease with the Charter Township of Waterford. A recommendation to the board moved by Whiteford, supported by Rahman. Good morning, Ms. Bush.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Good morning, Commissioners.
So give us a little insight here so we can vote on this.
Sure. This has been a long-term lease with the Township of Waterford for soccer fields that happen to be co-located in our runway protection zone at Oakland County International Airport. The FAA has put us on notice in the past few years. They would like to see that lease terminated and that area cleared for the protection of the general public, and gathering of crowds is no longer compatible with the FAA requirements. So we sat down with the Waterford Township group and advised them that we would be signing the continued lease for another year and 2 months until the next 25-year league is completed, and then we'll be terminating this lease. So this is a 1-year, 2-month lease at an annual lease rate of total of $1. Sorry, Brian.
Commissioner Whiteford, start with you.
And this came through airport committee and
Yes.
talked about it, and then the group's been very understanding and
Yes.
they knew it was coming, and it's been a good arrangement, but there's.
They totally respect and understand why the decision's being made, and so they've got a good amount of time to try to look for an alternative space.
I'm glad you're able to work with them.
Yeah, it was very good, very helpful.
Wonderful. Thank you. Anything further for this item? Commissioner Miller?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm curious, kind of the same question, is like, so what are they gonna do? Because they use that property right now, right?
They do.
So the crowds are still gonna be there, as I read in the,
They will be there for another year and 2 months.
so they're gonna get rid of the soccer field? Is that what you're?
It'll just be grass, got a
Just
grassy
grass.
area,
Okay.
yes. Mhm.
That's unfortunate, because they definitely need soccer fields.
I
in
know,
Oakland County.
I feel
I mean, it's not your fault, but it's unfortunate.
feel bad, but I think that they've got some alternatives, they've
Okay.
got some ideas. In fact, Leanne Stafford in the Health Division is on the board, and so her and I have been in communication, and she's working on some options.
Thank you.
Just to follow up on that, and we did ask a committee whether it could we put some plantings in there, could we do anything? And FAA has gotta be cut grass, right? I mean, it's gotta, for,
I do know that.
so,
That's why soccer fields work.
that soccer field worked perfect.
Right, worked for a long time, and
Uh-huh,
I think they had the benefit of enjoying it for a couple of decades, so.
absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you all. All right, can go ahead and prompt the vote for this item.
Miller,
Yes.
Spitz,
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Wonderful, that motion carried. Next item is B, the Economic Development, Aviation, Transportation lease contract with NDOT for the weather observation and data dissemination system at Oakland County Troy Airport. This is a recommendation to the board. Can I get a motion to do that? Commissioner Spiz moves, supported by Commissioner Miller. And Ms. Bush, over to you.
Thank you. This is a statewide program that is an upgrade of the weather briefing and dissemination system across the board. And so at Oakland Troy, we've been awarded an upgrade of our current system. It's a lease of the physical equipment and an agreement on the management and operation support of that. So there's no additional expense to the airports, but a much needed improvement in technologies.
Excellent. Commissioner Whitmer.
It had a little, in the summary, it had a little twist in the comment about the ownership, or sometimes it's who owns the equipment, or sometimes is it not a transfer, is a transfer? Is that-
Yeah, it is owned by the state, leased by the county,
Thanks.
All right,
20-year lease.
terrific. Commissioner Spiz.
Yes, thank you. I'm in support of this, just a question. Where did the $10 per year come from? Because the previous one was $1 per year, and that's
I know, these,
governmental entities to be known now $10, because it doesn't cover anything.
It's inflation.
It's not covering costs for
Right, it was
anything, so it's.
Rarely the $10.
Not even the $10. So
I think this was just
it always
generated
been
by the
done?
state. No, that was the first time I've seen $10, so.
It's interesting.
did you have anything, Commissioner Rahman?
No, I
Just
Commissioner Whitmer?
thought, myself too, and you know, in Michigan, our tradition is, it's when it's recital consideration, it's $1, another consideration or $1. In Florida and so a lot of other states, it's always $10.
Oh,
And so maybe the person who wrote this was from a
From Florida?
different state.
oh, that's interesting.
The lawyer or whatever, because
makes sense.
when I see Florida trusts and contracts and stuff, they always have the $10 and sometimes they actually put the $10 bill in them. And because it's recital, but it is recital, you know.
Yes, yeah.
In Michigan, we just say $1 as valuable consideration.
Yeah.
So,
I learned something today,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I'll bet
I
that,
will
I'll
ask that
bet that's it.
question of my,
Okay.
with my contacts and find out.
Interesting.
Or a typo.
yeah, hopefully not.
Or typo.
Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, I think the real thing is that per year, which is even more exciting there. All right, we can then prompt the vote on this item.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, 6 days, 0 nays.
Thank you. Motion carries. Takes us to then item C, the Economic Development, Aviation, and Transportation Amendment to Oakland County Airport's Rules and Regulations as adopted October 25th, 2018. This is a recommendation to the board. Can I get a motion? Moved by Commissioner Miller, supported by Commissioner Spins. Cheryl, give us the 411.
Okay, thank you. This is, as stated, a update to the 2018 rules and regulations. There are a number of minor changes, a couple of more significant, one being now a requirement for a permit for special activities at the airport. Prompted by a couple of events that we wanted to have more advance notice, an opportunity to collect reimbursement for costs that might be associated with special events, and so we've incorporated that into the new rules and regulations. We took the opportunity to increase the fines because we found that they were so nominal in the first round that sometimes they were not respected, and so we've increased them, still not burdensome, but I think there'll be a little bit more attention paid to that. And then just some housekeeping issues that needed to be updated, and that was provided as a summary in the package.
Great. Questions on this?
Just general corp counsel looked at it?
Yes.
Thank you.
Are they made aware of the, like, is it signage or just by word of mouth about them?
I will be sending notices out to the tenants on the field.
Okay. And with that, we can then go ahead and prompt the vote.
I just have a question or a clarification, but I'll go ahead and vote. So the incident that prompted you thinking about this was somebody who rents space from us had an event and you weren't made aware soon enough, or it was bigger than everybody thought it was gonna be. It just didn't fit like it should, and so this is to address that, and it was one of your tenants that actually.
True, and
Had
there were more
the
than one incident.
Right.
But it required a lot of overtime on our staffing, some additional security measures to take place, a lot of coordination. And so it was impactful to the airport, really without our knowledge until about 24 hours before the event, so.
And so we ended up having to pay to cover all that stuff, which we really don't wanna do if it's a private event.
Right.
Gotcha.
Well, that motion carries, and tell Cheryl's staff who were impacted with that overtime and everything, how much we appreciate their willingness and flexibility as well.
Thank you very much.
Okay, takes us to our next item under our regular agenda, which is item D. Bahay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
How do I say it?
How do you say
Does
it?
anyone know?
They.
Thank you. Establishing a lake level special assessment district for Bay Lake, and this is a recommendation to the board. Moved by Commissioner Wypert, supported by Commissioner Rahman. Welcome, is it Ryan? Please help me say your last name.
Powashek.
One more
I should have had Spiz try and say it.
Yeah, that's right.
You got it a month ago. Good morning, Madam Chair.
Welcome.
Commissioners. This is just a modifications resolution that was passed in February last year, authorizing us to start the process for legal lake level on Bay Lake. Within that resolution, we missed some language for the special assessment district that we need to have established as part of the proceedings. And this just adds that language to that resolution. That's it.
Wonderful, I remember this, go ahead.
Yeah, this is the one that came through,
Yeah.
where it's the homeowners privately have agreed to spend all the money, they agreed to assess themselves, and I mean, a
So
big
they-
number, $800,000, right?
Yeah, they had a full petition to have us take ownership. We've already done the study at this point. We are essentially ready to go to court. In that doc review, we realized we were missing this language in our resolution, so that's just what we're here for, is just put the language in there.
Any other
But I
questions?
mean, this is an interesting one where a neighborhood gets together to come up with the money. I mean, that was,
And we have a few of these actually that are moving forward that want the same thing. Because it's a privately owned dam and there's no way to maintain it, so.
We don't want another Midland.
We're still dealing with that.
Yes, Mrs. Markham.
So how many homes are in this assessment district?
26.
26 homes, $800,000.
Multiple said they would give me a check the day I told them the number. So they're not struggling at all there.
It's a blessing. And we love empowerment and economic abilities around here, so shout out to them and make that happen more places.
Protecting the water.
Anything, yeah, and that's a big piece too. Versus batteries going into lakes and stuff. So I don't see any other hands or comments for this item. We can go ahead and prompt the vote.
Ms. Charles. You have 6 yeas, 0 nays.
Right, that motion carries. Thank you, Ryan, for all that you guys are doing. Keep up the good work.
Sure, see you soon.
Next, we have item 9E, which is our Board of Commissioners dissolving the Solid Waste Planning Committee and creating the Materials Management Planning Committee. This is a recommendation to the board, and I'll take a motion to
I move it.
make that happen. Commissioner Spiz,
Other committee.
supported by Commissioner Markham. And welcome again. Good morning, Whitney and Kristen. The microphone is yours.
Good morning again, Commissioners. We're here today for the to formally dissolve the old Solid Waste Planning Committee and create our new Materials Management Committee. You may remember we came to you earlier this year with an overview of all of the administrative tasks that had to be done in preparation for our new Materials Management Plan. Since that time, we have been working alongside the LAGO committee And I would like to thank all of those members and Commissioner Johnson of the LAGO committee. There have been a lot of interviews for the applicants. And yesterday, that committee made their recommendations for all 11 of these slots on that committee. Feel really good about the those that were selected. And I'd just like to say we really had a very talented and experienced, passionate group of applicants for that committee. So that was really great to see. So the recommendation for those members to be appointed would be for next week's board meeting. So as part of that, we need to dissolve the old solid waste committee and then create the new materials management planning committee and then appoint those members to the committee. So that's what we're here to ask for your support today, and would be happy to answer any questions about that.
Well, I'll be the first to say that the titling of this is a pun, and I appreciate the levity there. Anything further on this particular item?
I don't think.
I think we're
I don't know if Brendan wanted to make a comment though, since he's in charge.
yeah, I was definitely gonna shout out Brendan. 11 people and read like bios and stuff.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. It was months of effort. I believe we started interviews 3 months ago, and we did 4 or 5 consecutive LAGO meetings with interviews. So huge shout out to all my LAGO teammates, but I feel really great about it too. I mean, there were several categories where we only had 1 person apply, but there were also several where we had 4 or 5 people apply, and I feel good about them. We had what did I say yesterday? It was like the best problem to have was we were struggling to decide which of our good candidates we were going to put in different spots. So yeah, I feel really good, and I'm excited to get this across the line.
Thank you. Thank you for your committee's due diligence on that. And is there anything else, folks, on this particular item? Seeing that we have no other comments or questions, we can go ahead and prompt the vote.
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you. That motion carries, and Solid Waste Planning Committee is officially dissolved. Well, upon being recommended to the board, of course. But other than that, ladies, thank you for your time, and we will, oh, did you have something else, Whitney?
I just wanted to say a big thank you to Pam and to Amy and Tracy on the Board of Commissioners staff too, because this was really a group effort, and it was great to have their partnership, and they really did a lot of work on this as well.
Thank you. We love to hear that. They're listening, so we appreciate that. We appreciate, and yeah, Amy's right here.
She's listening though.
Did you want to make a remark?
No.
Well, thanks, Whitney, Kristen, for bringing that up. And Brendan, you got to give me that paint swatch behind you. I'm curious what the Capitol is looking like lately.
It's all done. All the scaffolding is gone. You all are welcome to come back to Michigan's largest art piece. It's the largest hand-painted interior on earth, over 9 acres of hand-painted plaster. So yeah, come on in.
Nice. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. With that, we are at our second public comment, item 10 on the agenda. If anyone would like to speak to the committee about anything under the sun, now's your time, 3 minutes. I see no one approaching the front of the room, so I'll go ahead and close public comment. Is there any other business to come before Edie and I, like Sean says? Seeing nothing coming before us, we'll go ahead and adjourn. Thank you for your time.
Okay.